Okay, so that looks like it's gone in okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click AdMob inside of the project search bar up there. I'm just going to drag this down a little bit. And AdMob Event Listener, click on that, just close it so that I can find the folder. So here we go. Actually, AdMob Android, sorry, that's what we're after, AdMob Android. Prefabs, and then I'm just going to check that this has all of the necessary scripts in. Okay, so we want two things in the first scene that you load. So the first scene that you load is basically the 0 scene. If you go into build settings, and it's this scene here, load scene. Now this only has to be loaded once. So in our games, what we do is we load a logo scene, and then this next scene here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just loops around. So this logo scene only gets loaded once, which is useful because then you can put in the things which only have to be created in the game just one time. And in this case, the AdMob banners would be here. So I'm just going to drag the AdMob Android banner down, and the AdMob Android Manager down into here as well. So I've got two. So the banner is the thing that creates the banner, and then the manager is the part that communicates with the native Android code, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but it's not necessary for me to know exactly how it works. So in the AdMob Android banner, I'm going to double click. And this is what I said before, this is why I copied the code, because as you can see here now, this has changed. This is now different. And so that's why I've basically copied this code here. So I'm just going to double check to see what happened and what made it different, because it should be pretty much the same thing, I believe. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this code here. For you guys, by the way, you don't need to do this right now, just so you know, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm just updating this script so that it includes the AdMob publisher IDs that I'm going to be using for this game, and also to set a variable to say that, hey, don't produce the ads if the player has already paid for something. So in your case, you don't have to do anything right now, so just ignore this moment if it's the first time you're installing AdMob. Okay, I think that's all fine. It should all be good. I'm just going to save this. AdMob Publisher ID. In this case, no, I want my AdMob the Publisher ID for Google Play. So this init down here, this AdMob init is the code which actually creates the banner, and then this is this initializes to say, hey, connect me to my AdMob. This is my AdMob Publisher ID, and then this code down here is what actually produces the banner in whichever place you decide to put it in. So, like I say, don't worry about this right now. What I'm changing here, guys. I'm just making sure that my AdMob ID is set up correctly. AdMob Publisher ID for Google Play. All right, so back into Unity. Okay, I'm just looking at the bottom right here, guys. The bezel here to make sure there's no errors. Okay, AdMob Publisher ID seems to be blank. It's a little strange. Why would that be? So I can just enter that in there. That's fine. Okay, so what we did is we just dragged these folders down here. So the AdMob Android banner and the AdMob Android Manager. The one that you're interested in is this AdMob Android banner. What you need to do is set two things. One is the AdMob Publisher ID. I've got 3 here, but that's just because it's going onto different app stores. In your case, you'll just have the AdMob Publisher ID, and you'll need to fill this in with an AdMob Publisher ID from the AdMob Developer Portal so that it knows which game or which application is requesting the ads. Okay, so we'll get that in a moment. The second thing is the placement of the banner. So this is a 320 by a 320 by 50 banner. So it's either going to appear at the bottom here or at the top across there, or if you landscape, it'll appear like sort of halfway across. So just so you know, what we're going to do on this one is we're going to select bottom center. Sorry, I've just started something on my phone and I want to turn that off. Okay, so we need to get this publisher ID from the portal. So I'm just going to save the scene and save the project right there. I'm going to pause this for a second whilst I go into the portal, and I'll be back in just one moment, guys. Okay, so to get the AdMob publisher ID, that's the next step. What you want to do is go to admob.com and then go through the sign up process. I can't do this right here now because I've already done this, and it should be a fairly simple process for you guys. Just admob.com, sign up as a developer, fill in your details, confirm the email address, and so on. Pretty standard stuff. There's nothing majorly strange or different there. You probably have to add some payment information as well, so that Google AdMob can send you the payment once it comes through. Once you're inside of the AdMob portal, what you want to do is here click Add Site or App, and that will open this page here, this AdMob site. In this case, what we're doing is creating an Android application. So I'm going to click on here. App name, I'm going to call this, obviously, the name of the game. Arrow, swipe, run, X. And I'm just going to call this new, and then Google. The reason I'm calling it new is because we had the old version before, so I just wanted to make this, in fact I'm going to call this January 2012, and that's just so I know which one I set up at which time, and so it's not confused with the other ones. And it's on Google Play as well. Actually, I'll just leave that to Google. Okay. So we know which app store it's getting launched to, because you might want to do separate AdMob publisher IDs for separate apps or websites, so that you know which one's making more money. So the package name URL, this is basically the bundle ID. So I'm going to copy this little text down here, just paste this on the end, go back into Unity, build settings, player settings, other settings, and I'm going to copy my bundle identifier here. I'm going to click back into AdMob and then just delete this last part there and then paste in this arrow swipe. Category, games, I'd call this action and arcade. App description doesn't have to be very large, I believe. I don't think it affects any kind of download or any kind of impressions or revenue as far as I'm aware. So I'm just going to do a small description here. So arrow, swipe, run, X is a casual, fun game. Arrows to get the highest score possible. Great fun. Okay. So just a basic description there, and then I'm going to allow this to use keywords to be filled by Google Ads as well. I think Google Ads is basically like AdSense ads, so if it can't find an AdMob ad, it will try to get another ad from here, from the Google, like the main website, sort of Internet Explorer, Chrome ads that will appear. So that increases the fill rate in case it can't find an AdMob ad. So I'm going to enter in the capture code. If I can see it. Jesus, these things are really hard sometimes. Click on continue. Okay, that's fine. And this is if you're using like an Android native SDK, like you'd have to download it and so on. Since we're using Unity and the plugin, it's not necessary for us right now. So this requires AdMob SDK released on March 15th. Yeah, that's fine. Go to Sites and Apps at the bottom. Alright, you successfully created your site. To configure your settings, click on Manage Settings here. Okay, so the code, the publisher ID is this one right here. So I'm going to double click Command and C. I'm going to go into Unity and we're going to find this AdMob Android banner, and I'm going to update this one for Google Play. I'm going to delete that, paste this one in, click enter. I'm just going to go into my code to make sure that I'm using the Google Play one here, AdMob for Google Play, which is correct, and then back into Unity. So that's fine. And I just want to check my settings in here, guys, just to make sure that this is all running okay. So I'm clicking on the App Settings tab. Don't think there's anything I want to change in here. I'm just going to change this refresh rate down to 30 seconds. The refresh rate is basically An ad will appear for 30 seconds and then it will try to appear again. They'll try to appear a new one. That will exist for 30 seconds and then it will appear again. So refresh rate 30, and this is all fine. We can just leave this as it is. Social performance, yeah, that's fine. Click Save Settings. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's all we have to do on the AdMob side. Back in Unity, so all you needed to do, guys, is you just had this AdMob Publisher ID in your case. You just have to fill this in here with the AdMob Publisher ID from the AdMob portal, and then select where you want the banner ads to appear. So that should be pretty much it. I'm going to click File, Save Project. Oh, for Prime 31 as well, just so you know, guys, you need to generate an Android manifest whenever you install one of their plugins. So in this case, I need to go to Prime 31, Generate Android Manifest File, and click OK. I'm also going to do it on this menu here because I can't remember which one is the new one, because I have two Prime 31s here. You guys should hopefully just have one. I think I've got two because I've updated from like an old version and then the new version is put in the new menu on here. So, but you guys just need to do this once, okay? I'll save scene, save project, and then Command and B or Control and B to build. And we're going to deploy this to the device and see if it's working okay. And I'm just going to check VPN is on, which it is, because then we can see the ads appear, and that should be working okay, hopefully. So I'm just going to double check, guys, that I can connect to overseas servers, which I can because I can see YouTube, because YouTube is blocked in China, which is a major pain. So the way that I actually upload these videos is through this VPN service. So no Android devices found. That's okay. That sometimes happens, and the way that I usually fix this is I just turn off Unity for a moment. So I'm just going to quit Unity, unplug the device as well, plug the device back in, and then restart Unity. And this usually fixes the problem. So hopefully this will be available. It will pop up in just a second. Oh my god. Okay, we're back. So the only thing is I just need to go to File, Build Settings, Player Settings, and re-enter the key store password here, because that gets deleted whenever you turn off Unity. Okay, that's all fine. So now if I click Command and B, hopefully, fingers crossed, this will work. We should be okay. What I might do is, no, I won't delete any other games. So there we go. So it looks like it's building okay now. I was going to delete some other games off my device because what will happen in Unity, if there's not enough storage space on the device when it tries to build and deploy, is you'll get an error to saying something like storage media blah blah blah, something like this. So if you ever come across that, guy, just FYI, if you ever see like a storage media can't install problem when you're building for Android, is just try to delete a few games or applications from your device, and that should that'll free up some space. Which in the case of my Google Nexus 1 is necessary because it's it's getting pretty old now. But I'm actually interested to see how this will work using ARM v6 as well. Remember at the start of the video we set the build settings to an ARM v6 player, ARM v6 build, sorry. That means that more people can find it, more people can download it, and it's more visible in the App Store, the Google Play Market. But it causes problems, it causes performance problems. So we'll see how this goes anyway. I may need to do some optimization. I would like to release it as an ARM v6 version, just because, again, it gets more downloads. But more downloads means more visibility, more revenue, and so on. Okay, so that's building right now. There's the first logo scene, and hopefully this is the main menu. I'm just going to click play through once. And what I'm just quickly going to play this, guys. I actually didn't show you the gameplay, did I? Sorry, I might not be able to see it like this small, but I'll try to show you. As the arrows come down, when they get between these two white bars, then you have to swipe in that direction. And it gets faster and faster. And this is actually performing quite well for an ARMv6 version, but we'll see how this goes. What I'm not seeing right now, though, is I'm not seeing the ads appear. So I'm wondering if this is an internet problem or if this is... I don't think it's a VPN problem. So we're always, of course, like test for the ads, of course. You know, make sure that they're appearing. Bottom center. Oh, there it is. It's appeared. It was just taking some time to appear, probably because of a bad internet connection, or just because it couldn't find any available. What's the word that they use? Not available content. Available ads. There was no ads available to download into the game. What I usually do is I just test on this, so I'm just going to click this once. Those clicks do work, it's just because of my device being horrible, which slows it down. So there you go, it goes to a website, and that's fine. If we click the back arrow down here on the left, go back into the game, and I'm just going to quickly test this again, and I'll show you guys as I'm testing. Works well. See, the performance isn't too bad. I was concerned that building ARMv6 might cause some real issues here, but so far, I mean, it seems okay. We'll also wait for some user feedback once the game is live as well to see how it goes. But this has actually received some really good reviews on iPhone, and then on the other Android app stores as well. Obviously inspired by Temple Run, as you can see, the swipe gesture action. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I missed an arrow, game over, play again, and then back into the main menu screen. It seems that the ads are not appearing as often as I'd like them to appear right now. That could be because of the refresh rate, it could be because of a bad internet connection, who knows. But they've appeared anyway in the game, so I'm just going to leave this running for a second, and just so that I know that another ad will appear. Okay, so, alright, anyways, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the video there for part 2 now, since that kind of wraps up the AdMob ad integration part of this developer diary series. So, but I'm going to be back soon. I'm going to be moving on to doing the in-app purchases and then updating the game and then submitting the game to Google Play. A lot of really good information in there for anyone who's new to doing Android AdMob in-app purchases and submitting games to Google Play. So you should get a lot out of it, and it should make things a lot easier on your side after you see this. So, but I'll be back real soon, guys. So stay tuned for part 2, and I'll be back later. Okay, bye bye.